and the Skyforce in red trimmed in white, and tip is controlled in backcourt by AD, and coming into forecourt for Salt Lake City is Deontay Burton. So Burton veers to the left. Back to the right again. Free throw line, lob pass, throw down, and the first two by AD. The beautiful lob pass to the left side of the rim results in a Salt Lake City basket. They draw first blood. Larry Drew the second. Yo-yos the dribble in forecourt. Continues, now passes across court. And the three-point shot is up, and it is good. And that is Ike Nwamu, good three-point shooter, member of the Nigerian national team out of UNLV. And on the other end, the three-pointer off the mark by Salt Lake City. It was Naz on the miss. Quickly into forecourt for the Skyforce, the drive to the basket, and the floater is no good. Doesn't even draw iron for G, who spent the last 8 seasons in the NBA. And a quick basket, defensive lapse on the part of the Skyforce. And Naz with a little reverse layup all alone under the rim, and Salt Lake City has the early lead. Three-pointer on the way by Nwamu. This one is off the back of the iron. The deep rebound off to Naz. Salt Lake wants to run, and the newest member, McCree, and he is going to be fouled and have a chance at the free throw line early. Eric McCree, 6'8", 225, out of Louisiana Tech, and you know the Jazz have done pretty well with those Louisiana Tech boys. Of course, Karl Malone being at the pinnacle, and then Paul Millsap not doing so badly for himself either, a Jazz draftee. And now the acquisition of Eric McCree from the Skyforce, who promptly misses the first free throw he takes in a Stars uniform. Still 4-3 Salt Lake City. Early going here on Princess Night. The promotion tonight. A little chilly for princess dresses out there, though, believe me. And nasty north wind at about 21 degrees in Salt Lake City, as the free throw is good by McCree. And the Stars with a 5-3 edge on the Skyforce. Skyforce trying to pass the ball around, out of bounds. And Salt Lake City thought perhaps they were going to get it, but the deflection went off Burton, and it will be Sioux Falls ball with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Minute and a half into this one in Salt Lake. Little dribble drive, picked up the dribble, bounce pass on the baseline. Defense underneath, ball stolen away. Nowhere for Jack to go, as good defense by AD. It results in the turnover to Salt Lake City. Braun will pull it back out with 15 seconds and set the offense. Braun, crossover down the lane, scoops, shot blocked at the rim. Great block by Jack, who's slow to get up. And it's a 5-on-4 situation, or a 4-on-5. And now Jack joins the offense for the Skyforce, so they waited for him. He was a little bit slow to get up. Low block, and the back end by G. G turns, short off the iron, rebound right off to the Stars again, and McCree will push it up floor. Braun, right angle, three is good. And there is a Mountain America Credit Union three-pointer. Check out macu.com today. 8-3 Salt Lake with the early lead. Dribble drive to the basket, the kick back out by the Skyforce. Good perimeter ball movement, but the three-pointer is blocked. It was G again, and Salt Lake got a piece of it. They have the basketball. Burton to the rim, kicks it out, and back to Burton again. Now they're at the top of the key. Reset the offense with Naz with 10 to shoot. Naz gives it off. It's McCree. And the three-pointer is off the mark. Stars will get back quickly. Three-pointer from the Skyforce is no good. And Braun has it. So Salt Lake doing a nice job. It's a one-and-done situation, but that's because Sioux Falls is keeping everything on the perimeter. Naz misses with a little floater, but the rebound goes to Salt Lake. McCree has his shot knocked away. Naz has it back. In the lane, AD. No. Rebounds his own miss. Resets the clock. 10 now to shoot again for Salt Lake City. Naz with a drive, poked away. Lead pass, up ahead, transition basket. No, the attempt by G is off the mark, but we're going to get a foul on Burton going back to defend. So Salt Lake City's defense not up to the job and not tracking. When they got there, it was too late. Burton had to stop the layup, and he did so with the personal foul. So at the line is Alonzo G, 6'6", out of Alabama. averaging 17, 4, and 3 on the season. And if the name sounds familiar to you, it should. He spent time in the NBA over the last 8 years with Cleveland, San Antonio, the Wizards, the Pelicans, Denver, and Portland. And a recent addition to this team has only played 2 games with them, but he's had 15 and 19 respectively on those 2 games. And he hits the free throws here. So it's an 8-5, excuse me, it's an 8-5. They credited the Stars with that point, so they'll fix it in just a moment. They've got it as 9-5, so that's the way it officially stands. Drive to the basket, Deonte Burton, and the foul in the lane. And for those of you who are joining us via video feed, you saw Kadeem Jack in the lane. And it will be side out, a non-shooting situation for Salt Lake City. Naz with the ball, 8 to shoot, gives it up. And the ball goes out of bounds off Tatum's hands. Pass came from McCree, but Tatum not ready for it and it went out of bounds. So the turnover by Salt Lake City. Crossover dribble, Skyforce basketball right now. Larry Drew with the ball. That's
welcome to NBA G League Weekly. I'm Brandon Wellington, and this is Rewind. Now we have some absolutely incredible plays that we're about to put in the playback machine.
This is the shot.
Windy City Bulls, Lakeland Magic, going down to the wire, and Rodney Purvis delivers.
Purvis, the 3 for the win. Yes! Yes! The Magic win!
Tyrone Wallace.
23 assists in a game back in 2014. 23 assists. Now the good news with that too, not only is the assist total great, but that means that made baskets were on the other end because you don't get an assist off a miss. So he was responsible for the made baskets as well off the 23 assists. And now we've got a jump ball center court, and it's going to be Wamu out of UNLV at 6'5". And he'll jump against Naz Mitru-Long out of Iowa State at 6'5". And both guys look like they can get up. So let's see how good the toss is. Oh, it was a little bit high, bounced around, and it's controlled by Salt Lake City. So maybe out-tossing the ability for these guys to jump, or maybe they tried to steal the tip. Either way, it comes down to Salt Lake City. And McCree has the ball and gives it up to Naz. Naz drives to the basket, scoops underhanded, uses the glass, and he scores. Naz Mitru-Long, who is a good outside shooter, they had to respect it. He put it on the floor, he got past the defender, and the underhand scoop using the glass. On the other end, the drive by Jack is thwarted, but it's going to be a foul called on Salt Lake City.
The foul is called on number 20.
Kadeem Jack out of Rutgers.
Jite foul number 1. For Salt Lake City, this is foul number 2. Jack.
So Jack goes to the free throw line. Had 20 against Erie earlier this year in late November, actually right around Thanksgiving on the 27th. 6'9", 235 out of Rutgers. He's got the long body. Good wingspan, also a good touch from the line on the first one, and he hits it cleanly. So it's now a 5-point Salt Lake lead at 11-6. Yeah, this one is also nice and clean, so you don't want to put him at the line. He shows a nice touch. He hits them both. As there's a little backcourt pressure being applied by Drew. Broken easily, though, by Burton as he gets into forecourt. And the pass, the bounce pass from Burton, caught McCree unawares. And Allen comes into something Schiller would like his team to run tonight with only 8 legs, or 8 sets of legs on the Skyforce bench. 3-point shot on the way, and a nice clean hit by Tony Mitchell, who has come into the lineup. And Mitchell is a guy who's averaged 22, 7, and 5 for the season. And he shows why with that 3-pointer. Well, I thought it went in. Apparently it did not count. So it looked like the net was so clean. My producer, Talon, did you think it went in? We're sitting right above it. It looked like it went in, but there's no credit, so apparently not. I'm glad to know it's not myself that's just got holiday eyes. So it's still 11-7, the miss by Salt Lake City, and the rebound comes off, and a walk is committed by Larry Drew. So 11-7 is our count. And Salt Lake City with a nice first quarter. I got to tell you, by the way, that Sioux Falls is shooting so far 14.3% before that last field goal, which didn't count because it didn't make it. So they've got 1 of 7 from the floor from the field. And a total of, and that's a 3. A steal, and this one will be a field goal for them with a big throwdown by Tony Mitchell. Mitchell's a guy at 6'6" out of Alabama who was the G League Rookie of the Year back in 2012, 2013. 2014, he got a call-up by the Bucks. But this is a guy, another one of those folks, and the Skyforce have a few of those who have been around for a while. The Salt Lake City has Jermaine Taylor, who's been around for 9 years as well. On the other end, Salt Lake's three-point attempt is off the mark, and WAMU gets the rebound, and now it's in the hands again of Tony Mitchell. Mitchell, a little bounce pass, give and go to Jack. His shot is blocked at the rim, and the rebound comes off. And Salt Lake City Jite out of Clemson, and actually it's Senegal via Clemson, comes down with a rebound. Ball into Jite on the block. Drives left across the lane, and no good. The rebound, all he gets is own board. Gives it up just that quickly, and a foul in the lane. So Salt Lake City will be going to the free throw line. Again, McCree. Tell you what, this guy has got a motor. No wonder the Jazz wanted him. Eric McCree, signed just today. I mean, this is you want to talk about a quick turnaround. He would have been wearing the Sioux Falls uniform in this game tonight. Instead, he was in town to play, and they called him up and said, hey, you're now a member of the Utah Jazz, which means you're going to the Stars tonight. Don't know what his response was, but right now he's doing a heck of a job helping this team, and they lead by a count of 12-9 as he hits the free throw. Yeah, he didn't even appear on the game notes, other than he wouldn't be here. That was the notes from the Skyforce that he would not be in uniform tonight. He misses the second free throw, and so the margin will remain 12-9 with just a little over 5 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Sioux Falls basketball, 8 to shoot, still on the perimeter, but it's the ISO, and it's going to be Mitchell, the pull-up shot off the back of the iron, the tipped rebound by Jalen Bradley, local tryout, but the ball is stolen, and Salt Lake City has the basketball. Little pull-up jump shot is good, and you got it. It's the man from La Tech again. So Salt Lake City's newest additions showing well. All the way to the rim. No defense on that one. Jalen Bradley. 6'1" out of Oral Roberts, a local tryout, and he has his first points of the night. Jite down the lane. The left-hander scores. So Sidi Jite, averaging 12 minutes a game. On the other end, a three-pointer is good by WAMU. And it's just a 2-point game now. Salt Lake with the lead at 16-14 as we're just about ready to hit the 4-minute mark. And speaking of hitting, no one stood in the way of Jite, who went right down the lane and puts the two-hand throwdown in with some authority to give the Stars the 4-point margin at 18-14. Foul committed in the lane by Jite on the other end as Jimmy Taylor, 6'10" center out of Alabama, the 32nd pick in this year's G League draft, will get a chance to go to the free throw line and try and narrow the margin.
For the Stars, team foul number 3.
Third team foul.
Number 34, Jimmy Taylor, shooting 2.
And Jite, who we haven't seen a lot of. In fact, I don't think we've seen any of him in the home arena. This might be the first time because they had just signed him before they went on the recent road trip. So this is the first opportunity for the fans to look at him as the bank is open for Jimmy Taylor. He hits the free throw off the glass and shakes his head. So 18-15. And Jimmy Taylor will have a second opportunity. He practices again with that left hand and says, I'm not sure I want to bank it in again. Let's see what he does with the second. Does he come up short, trying not to hit the bank? He comes off the back of the iron. And a rebound comes off to another new member for hometown fans, Michael Qualls out of Arkansas, who played in Israel last year. Guy is 6'6", 205, has the ball right now. He's got the dreads, kicks it out. And all the way to the basket. And it was Allen who went all the way to the basket, Dakari Allen, for his first points of the night. Three-pointer on the way on the other end is off the rim. And again, that was G who tried it. He's not afraid to put it up, and why would you be when you're averaging 17 a game? A whistle will stop play in forecourt.
Called on number 31, Hassan Dixon.
And it's going to be an offensive foul called on Salt Lake's AD. This is a guy's 5-point lead. However, the Skyforce, Jalen Bradley has the ball and gives it up to G. G wants to put it on the floor, gives to a flashing Nwamu, and Nwamu throws one down. Boy, a nice dive to the basket there from the elbow by the former UNLV running Reb. And he puts it down to narrow the margin to just 3 now. So the one-possession game as we've moved inside 3 minutes. Now it's 5 points. Qualls hits, 22-17. On the other end, the shot is off the mark, and that again is Bradley, who's had several touches since he checked in. Salt Lake City, they work the ball around the perimeter. That's Qualls. Directs traffic to get a screen, does. Now drops the pass back again to the screener, and it's on the floor, and we're going to get a jump ball. So the pass a little difficult to handle for AD. He came to set the screen and then got the pass on the roll situation, but not able to handle it, and we're going to get a jump ball situation. Be in the free throw circle. So for the Salt Lake City Stars, they will be facing the basket to which they are aiming. And you're going to get the 7-footer against 6'5" Nwamu. So you probably expect this tip to be controlled by AD. Again, a lot depends on the tosses. And that was a good toss, and it is controlled by AD. Jermaine Taylor, who's in the game, shoots the quick one and misses. Got to get one up early, especially when you're a shooter, and JT definitely is that. Old man of the team, 9 seasons in pro basketball. Skyforce with the ball. Nwamu, long 3. Looked like he was shooting from perhaps where you would see Steph Curry. Didn't have the same result, though, as this one comes off the rim. Salt Lake City basketball. Stars in backcourt, and inbounded by Braun comes to Naz. Naz will cross the timeline and be picked up there by Bradley. Inside 2 minutes now, remaining first quarter. Jermaine Taylor. Oh, looked like he got away with a walk to Braun. In the corner, Qualls, catch and shoot. Oh, he gets it. Unbelievable. He caught and shot so quickly with that left hand, or that right hand rather, but he was fading to his left. And it's 25-17, the Mountain America 3-point shot, and on the other end, the answer 3. And that is Rodney Pryor. Played with the Brooklyn Nets team this summer. On the other end, the rebound and the throw down by Qualls off the miss. Unbelievable. That's going to make a highlight, let me tell you. So Qualls, an active body, signed just before the last road trip, and now the threes are flying. Rodney Pryor with another one. And threes are raining down here in Salt Lake City. Of course, they're frozen by the time they hit the ground based on these temperatures. They're coming down to snow. A miss on the three-point line for Salt Lake. Nwamu got away with a little shuffle before he shot the three. That goes incomplete, and Mitru Long has the rebound and comes down the other end and gives to Qualls, and his three-point attempt is off the mark. So the ball goes out of bounds. And did we have a foul called on that play? It looked like the official signaled, but apparently not. The ball is going to be inbounded on the baseline by Naz Mitru Long, who's trying to set his team for the inbounds play. Does. AD back to Naz on the baseline, and now he is fouled.
The foul is on number 13.
So a blocking foul called on Jalen Bradley, his first personal foul. For those of you watching, you saw that he got over a little bit slowly. And a side out for Salt Lake City. Qualls into Naz. Braun for three, no. And the rebound comes off to the Skyforce. That one badly off course there to the side of the basket. Alonzo G gives it up down the middle. Salt Lake finally clogs the lane. G gets the ball back, And a whistle and a personal foul underneath. Pryor was flashing to the basket. They found him. The shot was contested, but G got the offensive rebound, and then he was fouled.
Final 2 minutes.
So Braun picks up the personal foul. And side out again for the Skyforce. The 14-second reset on the clock, and it's now down to 8. Pressure out front by Qualls defensively, all over, and a steal, but stolen right back again, and nobody was underneath, and it's going to be a foul. G came up short on the dunk, and the reason is he was fouled. So Salt Lake City looked to have the ball, was stolen right back. All of the Stars were heading the other way. G still hadn't made that move, was on the baseline, and will go to the free throw line after the foul. And the officials got something, there they go, something with the clock. They've reset it now to 7.1. G squeezes the first one, and it is true. 27-24. Stars with the 3-point advantage. And Alonzo G, this is a guy who's been around for a while. He was the G League Rookie of the Year in 2010. And as I mentioned, the last 8 years straight, he has spent in the NBA. He misses the second free throw. Jermaine Taylor down court, double clutches, shoots with 2 seconds left, and no. So the first quarter is in the books, 12, and he was wearing their uniform. And in fact, he had played very well for them. And quick basket, and it's going to be scored by Sioux Falls very quickly into this quarter. And it makes it 27-28. So Sioux Falls with the lead. The drive and the ball knocked out of bounds. Salt Lake City will retain possession. Ball will be inbounded on the baseline. And Burton, and it comes in deep. Kick in the corner. Three-pointer. And it is good by Taylor Braun. So 30-28 now. Salt Lake City with the lead once again. Skyforce ball, 3 is straight away, but it's no good by Tony Mitchell. And Qualls will bring into forecourt for Salt Lake City. Crossover dribble. And now he'll give it up. And the pull-up shot is partially blocked. Deontay Burton's shot rejected. And on the other end, not a great pass by Tony Mitchell as he looks. Tried to go ahead to Rodney Pryor. Gave him a look there, and Pryor says, taps his chest, that was my fault. Which I think is what Mitchell had, as G had indicated to him prior to that. Yes, it was your fault. Salt Lake basketball. And the three-pointer is off the mark. But a loose ball foul will keep Salt Lake City in the offensive zone. That was Eric McCree who tried the straightaway 3.
That is his second personal foul.
Salt Lake City with that lead at 30-28. And a very different looking team than the one that left on the road trip just a week or so ago. A little spin move in the lane, then the shot is blocked. Big time block, and now an alley-oop and a throwdown at the rim. And that was Tony Mitchell on the receiving end of the alley-oop. And we're all tied at 30. Qualls fakes the 3. Now bounce pass down low and a nice find. CDGT with an easy basket underneath. And GT showing some offense tonight. Offensive rebound off the miss and a foul called, a loose ball foul, and it's going to be called against McCree.
21. Eric McCree.
So McCree kind of uses his body and reaching across the arms of Jimmy Taylor. So it will be side out. Jalen Bradley looking and gets it in. Jimmy Taylor with the ball. Gives it up to Larry Drew. through, has nowhere to go. Now he goes into the corner. Long two is good by Rodney Pryor, the left-hander. So Pryor with a little lean back shot. And it ties this game again at 32. In the lane for Salt Lake, Chite shuffles, and has his shot blocked. Jimmy Taylor just patiently waited and made the block, and on the other end, favor is returned, this one by McCree. Boy, you gotta like the motor on this guy. And I'm glad he's playing for Salt Lake City, not against them. Ball blocked out of bounds, 17 to shoot. Comes into Mitchell. Mitchell, two-point shot is good. 34-32, the lead in this seesaw second quarter now belongs to the Skyforce. Lobach for Salt Lake. Step back, Qualls, no, but he's going to the line as he was fouled on the play. Handed to Qualls, and whatever it was has been successfully resolved, and Qualls hits the free throw, and Salt Lake moves ahead by a point. Nevada Smith still talking to the official. And the second free throw is also good. So I think that may be our crew chief. It's Aaron Smith that was speaking to Nevada Smith, presumably no relation. Anyway, Sioux Falls with the basketball. The three from the corner is up, and it's good by Jalen Bradley. So 35-34, again, the lead back and forth is now held by Sioux Falls. Salt Lake City basketball. Chite out front, dribbles the ball, gives it up at the elbow. Ball is on the floor, puts it up, and the foul is called on the drive. It was Burton, and it's going to be Jimmy Taylor.
That is his
First personal foul, and it is going to be McCree who goes to the line to shoot. McCree is very active. Puts a lot of pressure on the rim and misses the free throw. Jermaine Taylor enters for Utah, and Qualls will take a seat. Second free throw is up, and this time it's good by McCree. So we're tied at 35 again. Nobody able to really put the other team away in the first half so far. Stars 5 points, I believe, was their largest lead, and that's the largest lead by either team. Pull-up jump shot from the free throw line is off the mark by Tony Mitchell and rebounded by Salt Lake City. McCree drives past, goes right to the rim and has his shot blocked. Is challenged at the rim. He drove right by Bland, but ran into Jimmy Taylor guarding the rim. And no foul, in fact, no block. He just lost control of the basketball when confronted by the 6'10" former Alabama player. Sioux Falls in forecourt. Oh, a little drop pass, nice little slip. And a basket by Jimmy Taylor, and he'll go to the line as well. Little two-man game there. Pass did not quite come up as high as he would have liked, but he managed to gain control, put it in the basket, and be fouled as well. And Braun will take a seat. And now Torian Graham will come in for Salt Lake City. Young man who was signed by the Jazz on the 19th of September. Actually, October, I beg your pardon, averaging 7.5 a game out of Arizona State. Free throw is good, and completing the three-point play is Jimmy Taylor. Now pressure in backcourt, but it's going to be released by Jalen Bradley. Burton in the forecourt, he'll give it up. That's Chite. Chite with the dribble handoff, back again with 10 to shoot. The drive in the lane, fading to his left is Burton, and Burton with the miss. Down the other end, also with the miss, was Rodney Pryor. Stars into forecourt three. Jermaine Taylor, no. And JT, you don't mind him taking that if you're a coach, for sure. A guy who can shoot the three, and on the other end, got a whistle. And some good defense on the part of Salt Lake City. Bradley hits the ground as a result of it, and now timeout taken by Sioux Falls. the basket here for them, that an opportunity to try and expand on this lead. And the ball comes in. Still plenty of time, 10 to shoot. And Mitchell with a little rock step and goes all the way to the basket. Shot won't fall for him, though. And McCree comes out with a rebound. He's got one man who can help him, and he throws a bad pass to him. That was Jermaine Taylor. McCree raises his hand saying, that was me. 38.2% shooting for Salt Lake City, and they have now 6 turnovers. And 40.6% shooting with 5 turnovers for the Skyforce. Trying to get you some stats in just a moment on the missed 3 there by Larry Drew and the Salt Lake City rebound. Straight away pull-up 3 is good. Knocking it down is Graham. Torian Graham with a 3-pointer to tie this thing at 38. Bradley down the middle. Bradley floater, right-hander. Yes, it's good. And so the tie didn't last very long. 40 to 38. Boy, an early 3 that doesn't draw anything in forecourt by McCree for Salt Lake City. And the ball is picked up, so that's a turnover because G picked up a ball and then a score and an opportunity for a 3-point play. G came down with the ball. So that's like a turnover when you don't draw anything, and then G comes all the way down and hits the basket and has a chance for the 3-point play. Alonzo G will go to the line.
Alonzo G. The line
He's been there 4 times tonight. He's hit 3 of 4. 5 points, and now make it 6 as he hits that free throw. And the lead is 4, now it's 5. Tying the largest lead of the night. Well, actually, the Skyforce, it is their largest. Salt Lake went up by as many as 8 at one juncture. But this is the biggest lead by the Skyforce. Jermaine Taylor, fade away, off glass, no. Rebound to Jack. Skyforce, little yo-yo dribble, whistle, and no basket. It was a foul by Graham, but it was before the shot of Larry Drew. And the ball will be taken side out. With some changes for Salt Lake City. Gite comes in. Nasby Trulong is back as well. Burton is out. And the ball will be triggered in, and it comes to Larry Drew. So Drew out front with it, with 11 on the shot clock. Gives it up. It's going to be Mitchell. And Mitchell, he gives it up as well. Jack hits the 2-pointer. So Kadeem Jack, the 6'9" Rutgers product, shows some range. And now the lead is 45-38. So Salt Lake City trying to stop the bleeding here. 3-pointer from the corner, no. Rebounded Jermaine Taylor. Nobody there except Taylor, and he puts it back in for 2. Well, that helps. 3-pointer is missed by Wamu. Rebounded by Salt Lake City, and Naz into forecourt. Naz gives it up, a long 3 from Graham, no, but contact. As underneath the basket, we've got a loose ball foul. Gite goes sprawling on it. I'm just giving you a hard time, obviously. 4 of 14. They are struggling from the floor, the Skyforce. And Salt Lake is 8 of 17, and we are back to action, and the ball is stolen away by Sioux Falls. Skyforce, 3-point shot is in the basket from the corner. Credit that one to Alonzo G. Just caught that ball in the corner. Nice clean look, 48-40. And on the other end, Jermaine Taylor's 3 attempts is off the mark with the deep rebound corralled by Naz, who uses glass and scores a little floater. So the margin is 6 at 48-42. Pull up 3. And there's another shot by Mitchell. You can see why. Well, he is a scorer. 22, 7, and 5 is season averages. And offensive foul by Salt Lake. Back to Mitchell. His last 5 games, he's had 18, 25, 27, 32, and 32. So you better get out on this guy. He's got range. He's been around for a while. about 5 years to be exact. Ball inside Jack, and he scores. And a tie break points, but none for Salt Lake City, and we're back to action again. Burton with the basketball. Yo-yo dribble, Burton gives it up to Braun. That's Naz, back to Braun. 7 to shoot. He's at the elbow in three-point territory. Shoulder now, low down pass, and the pass in the quick turnaround. And that shot is off the mark by number 31 AD, who's into the lineup. So Salt Lake City, not a great possession, especially coming out of a timeout. Just didn't seem to get anything out of it. The whistle. Going to have a traveling violation called on Kadeem Jack, who went to the basket, but did not put the ball on the floor before he lifted the pivot foot and turns it over. So turnover have plagued both teams a little bit, although again, not for this league, but the points given up by Salt Lake City would be the concern. That's the 6th turnover for the visitors, but they've only given up 5 points. Whistle in the lane. Ball is out of bounds, and it will be retained by the Stars. Let's see if there was a change of possession. Shot clock showing 24 seconds. And was there an establishment of possession by the Skyforce? There's the hit. Well, maybe not. In which case it would be a reset. We've spent a lot of time at the table today. Somebody's earned their dollars. I don't know if it's the officiating crew or if it's the guys at the table.
Shot clock, 12.
Well, shot clock is going to show at 12 seconds. And we've got that fixed, and now here comes the inbound pass for Salt Lake. And it's a long, deep pass. AD chases it down. And the drive to the basket, no good. The rebound down to Salt Lake. The putback, no good. The ball is still available. Now the Skyforce brings it down, and coming down floor was Alonzo G, and he was fouled. Well, he was on his way to either a layup for himself or certainly one of his teammates out front, and so he was fouled out on the floor. Penalty situation now, and G will go to the free throw line to try and extend this double-digit lead. So Alonzo G. Nice, easy, smooth stroke, and converts the first for his 10th point of the evening. At the line, he is 5 of 6. They make that 6 of 7, and the lead has ballooned to 12 at 54-42. This is one of those spells that Coach Martin Schiller has been trying to coach out of this team all season long. They will be competitive for so long, and then all of a sudden they go into kind of a funk for about 3 or 4 minutes. Now, Taylor Braun went to the basket and scores then and gets it back to 10. But you can't afford to lose concentration for 5 or 6 minutes in the G League games. It is such an offensive league. Now there's a steal by Salt Lake City. Naz to the basket. Shot is blocked. Salt Lake gets it back again. 14 still to shoot. 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Naz has the ball at the elbow. Gives it inside, and a wide open throwdown. AD with an easy throwdown. Nice patience and a great find by Naz on the play. Braun cuts off the dribble lane, and now Skyforce have to reset the offense. Jack in the lane. Jack throws one down, scores, and now we've got Wamu is down on the floor, face down, and there's a foul on Salt Lake City.
The foul is called on number 15, Deontay Burton.
It's going to be Deontay Burton, and Wamu is still down. Well, he's starting to get up. I might have seen somebody from the training staff over there, but no. And Wamu will go back to the Skyforce bench, and he's going to be replaced in the lineup by Rodney Pryor. Assuming there's a trainer. Well, I'll tell you what, he is limping, and there's still nobody but Coach Nevada Smith coming out to assist him off the floor.
at the free throw line.
Yeah, that's interesting. Don't think I've ever seen that before. He was obviously banged up pretty good and got no help from his bench. Meantime, at the free throw line, Kadeem Jack. And his shot rebounds right back to him on the miss. So he gives it up. Ball passed outside, knocked out of bounds. Good deflection on the part of Salt Lake City. That was Burton. With 9 seconds left, Skyforce will inbound the ball. They'll spread the floor now. As soon as they find someone to inbounds, and there's G, and he'll take it in. So G triggers in, 7 to shoot. A little attempting to put the ball over the top was Mitchell, and his pass was intercepted by Salt Lake City, going the other way. Three-pointer by Naz, comes up short, rebounded by Sioux Falls. Drew, penetration. Got the dribble alive, now gives it up. In the corner, Pryor puts it on the floor. Pryor to the basket, off the glass, no, rims out. Offensive rebound comes down to Skyforce. In the lane, attempted dunk is thwarted by the defense of Salt Lake City, and G was jammed at the rim. And now the Stars. 3 from the corner, Naz, yes, splashes one home. That's another Mountain American Credit Union 3-point play. 35 seconds left in the half. 7-point game, air ball, and the ball is retrieved by Salt Lake City. So 15-14 to shoot, 20 on the game clock. Naz with that yo-yo. Naz whips a cross-court pass that goes out of the hands of Braun. And with 4.1 seconds showing on the shot clock, they gave it up. Now 10.3 remaining in this first half, and Sioux Falls has the basketball. They also have the lead at 56-49. Well, it is single digits. And if you're Salt Lake City, when you go into the locker room, you talk about that. You kept it to single digits if you don't give up the 3 here in the last 5 seconds of the game. Little step back under. Drew kicks it out, and there won't be a shot. They waited too long to take the shot, and the first half ends with the City Stars. Welcome back, everybody, and again, a big welcome to our friends watching us tonight on Twitch, the new video home of the NBA's G League. Wamu with the ball, gives it up. Long 3 from the Skyforce to get things started. And Tony Mitchell's shot is off the mark significantly. The rebound comes off to Salt Lake City. Salt Lake in the white, Skyforce in the red. Burton out front, and he'll give it up to Naz with 5 to shoot. Naz contested 3, the long arm of Kadeem Jack affecting that shot, and it was off the back of the iron. The rebound comes off to Sioux Falls. Wamu in forecourt to Jack. Mid-range 2, no. And the offensive rebound to the visitors again. There's a foul as Mitchell gets the shot up. It won't fall for him, but he's going to the free throw line.
Foul is called on the Stars, starts number 15, Deontay Burton.
So, very early, a foul for Salt Lake.
First team foul on the Stars here in the third quarter.
And Deontay Burton is the man who gets tagged with it. Wamu, hook pass, deep corner. 3, no. Rebound is off to Salt Lake City, and Naz will run. He gives it up. McCree puts it on the floor, goes to the basket, and a blocking foul called. Well, the official did not fall for the acting job of number 15, Tony Mitchell. It was a real poor job, to be honest with you. And Christine Esperanza, one of our officials tonight, said, I'm not buying that one. So the flop was for naught, and it gives up 2 free throws to Salt Lake. McCree will go to the line. And the first one is no good. Well, this is the one of the Achilles heels for Eric McCree right now. He is now 3 of 7 from the free throw line, has 5 points, and hits that one. So 4 of 8. And Salt Lake City within 6. The 2-possession game just underway here in the second half. Skyforce led by as many as 12. Jack double clutches. Good shutoff on the baseline defense, and now you've got a foul called, and it's going to be on Jack trying to get out. Number 3 on him, and what he was trying to do was race AD, Hassan Dixon Tatum, down the floor. And he committed the foul in so doing. So Salt Lake City basketball. Naz in the corner, and Burton with a spin move. Back out to Naz again. He'll give it up and get it right back again from McCree. Naz has it with 8 to McCree. Puts it on the floor, little Euro step, and he scores it. So on the short clock, McCree hits it. Now it's 56-52, just a 4-point margin. Salt Lake City has come back with a nice start here in the half, but they give up a basket in the paint to G on the other end. That's McCree with the ball. Goes baseline. Spins in the lane, hooks a shot up, and it goes in. Kind of hung on the rim. Was being followed closely by AD, and he didn't need to touch it. It was a good thing because it was in the cone, and it scored. Three-pointer, no good on the other end by Mitchell. And the offensive rebound goes out of bounds. And it will be Salt Lake City basketball. So an opportunity now for Salt Lake to get even closer, as they have pared that lead from 12 and had it as close as 4. Right now it's 6 to the line, all the way to the rim. Naz, no, and a loose ball foul on the rebound, and it's going to be called on AD. Son Dixon Tatum, a little too aggressive. And if you're a coach, you'll take a foul like that. Good hustle play. Ball comes in, though, to the Skyforce, and they're into forecourt. That's Mitchell working up top. Wants to go inside. Pass is tipped away, and Salt Lake has the basketball. Naz down the middle looking for some help in the lane to McCree. McCree has it stripped away, and a turnover as Mitchell got his hands on the ball and wrestled it away. Skyforce, 3 on the other end from the corner is good. And that was Ike Wamu. And so the lead just as quickly now has ballooned to 7 at 61-54. Salt Lake just a little loose with the basketball, and it costs them. Naz from the shoulder, short. And it goes out of bounds. It will be Sioux Falls ball. Be inbounded directly in front of the Salt Lake bench as Chite gets ready to check in at the next dead ball. Jack with a little dribble handoff to Wamu. 10 to shoot. Wamu gives it up. Larry Drew still out front, the former UCLA product. 5 gives it up at the elbow. A long 2 off the mark. Rebounded Salt Lake. Give to Braun in the lane. He hands it off. Unselfish pass, the extra pass, and the easy layup basket by Eric McCree. Well, very unselfish on the play by Taylor Braun. In the lane, a whistle as Jack goes to shoot. And it's going to be a foul on Utah.
The foul is on number 24, Taylor Braun.
Well, they called it on Taylor Braun.
Personal foul.
Thought it was closer to AD, but perhaps not. Anyway, it's going to be against Taylor Braun, and it means that Kadeem Jack will go to the free throw line. And that shot rattles in, and it scores for Kadeem Jack. 3 of 4 at the line on the evening. Chite comes in, AD comes out for Salt Lake City. (62-56). Jack an opportunity to extend it, and he does. Naz into forecourt for Salt Lake. Gives it up. It's Burton who had the ball. He gave it up to McCree, who gave it up to Sioux Falls. And a foul on the drive stops a layup by Mitchell, but the foul is going to be called on McCree.
Number 21, Eric McCree. McCree foul number 3.
So his third personal foul. And Bradley will go to the free throw line.
Number 15, Tony Mitchell.
Excuse me, Mitchell. I beg your pardon. Tony Mitchell. And he goes to the line. This is a guy who averaging 22, 7, and 5, but he's just got a very active game, and he hits the free throw. He's shown the ability to score inside. He's got the strength down on the low block. He'll take you baseline, and he's not afraid to put up the three as well. So he hit the first free throw, and he converts both of them. So Tony Mitchell now into double digits. Burton gives it up to Naz for 3. No off the iron. Ball kept alive with a tip, but it comes down in the hands of G. G goes right to the basket, and there's going to be a blocking foul called. Stepping in front of him is Burton. Well, pretty close. He almost got to the spot. But it's his fourth personal foul for Deontay Burton. So Tay, get a seat here. In all probability, because at the scorer's table right now is Michael Qualls for Salt Lake. In the meantime, Alonzo G with 2 free throws. This is just his third game with this team as he misses the first free throw. He scored 15 and 19 in the 2 earlier games.
Replacing Deontay.
So Tay comes out and Qualls goes in for Coach Martin Schiller. Skyforce has done a nice job limiting Salt Lake to any transition baskets so far tonight, and so have the Stars. Skyforce have just 2 points. Stars have 0 fast break points. That free throw, by the way, was good for a 10-point lead of 66-56. With 8 players, you'd probably like to have run the Skyforce tonight as Braun hits a 3 for Salt Lake. And it's another Mountain America Credit Union 3-pointer, and timeout is taken now by the Skyforce with 6:53 remaining in the third, and the go. So don't go away, because this one I have a feeling is going to go right down to the wire. Ball is inbounded now by the visitors in red from Sioux Falls. Cross-court skip pass whipped, whipped, and then whipped right back again with 5 to shoot. And taking that shot from the three-point mark and missing it was number 15, Tony Mitchell. And on the other end, all the way to the basket, McCree gets the easy layup for Salt Lake City, making it a 5-point game at 66-61. Good heads-up play and the pace of play. If you're not going to just run fast break, at least you've got to run up tempo if you're Salt Lake City against an 8-man team on the other bench. Three-pointer is good. Boy, Rodney Pryor pulled the trigger on that one with that left hand, and it was nothing but the bottom of the net. Salt Lake ball over the top in the lane, and an opportunity to work a little bit inside, and then the ball is knocked away. Well, that was Jite who had a chance, but the big man put it on the floor. That's all it took, as Pryor's 3 from the corner is off the mark. Ball saved from going out of bounds, but retained by Salt Lake City on the turnover. And Naz drives and shoots, and he's fouled. So he went all the way to the rim. There was a scramble on the other baseline for the ball. And a foul is going to be called on Tony Mitchell. Number 2 on him. And the third team foul as Naz goes to the free throw line. So Naz Mitru Long. Nazareth is full first name, goes by Naz. Number 2 in Iowa State history in three-pointers made. This is an outside threat who could shows that he can also hit free throws, as he just did then. He had 263s during his time at Iowa State. Shooting 30%. His percentage has gone down a little bit in this last road trip, but he's still at 30% from three-point range and averaging 15 a game. He hits both of those free throws. So Naz with 12 points now and a two-possession game at 69-63. Rebound off the miss. Qualls gets it down quickly to McCree, who goes cross-court to Naz for three. And this one did everything but count. Boy, it went all the way down in the cone and then came right back out again. G with a bounce pass into traffic. Not a good pass to the big man, but it will work out because there was a foul called in there. Yeah, this is not the best of passes. There are about 4 sets of legs in there. And the ball did come up, maybe not as high as it was necessary, but I think Sioux Falls got away lucky. Ball will be inbounded. I think it was just maybe a kicked ball. It might have not have been a foul in there as ball comes in. And that's Bradley who gives it up to Pryor. Boy, ball is out at midcourt. He didn't, yes he did. Over and back is the call. I didn't think he'd gone over and back. Well, I thought Larry Drew had saved it, but the official right on the spot said, nope, it's a backcourt violation, turnover to Salt Lake City. Well, that just wasn't a good possession on the part of the visitors there. So Salt Lake City ball, midcourt, waiting for Taylor Braun to come over and inbound it. And we're set to go. So AD gave the ball right back to Naz, back to AD again. Jermaine Taylor rises for three, no. And a rebound, long lead pass to Alonzo G. Stars did a good job getting back. G challenges Taylor. Taylor wins that matchup as the shot is off the mark and the rebound comes off to Salt Lake City as Qualls hits the baseline, now throws to AD in the lane, double pumps, he's fouled. Jimmy Taylor fell for the fake. And that means shooting free throws will be AD. Hassan Dixon Taylor. And you can see why we call him AD. First free throw attempts of the evening. First one is short. Not good. It was flat as it came off the hand and stayed that way. To get the arc into it. Much better looking shot, and the result is the payoff. So 69-64. Backcourt pressure now from Salt Lake. And it's broken. Well, it's not completely across midcourt. G gives it up, and now it is by Bradley when Salt Lake gets back. G with the ball. Drive is thwarted. Down the middle. Wamu. Scoop, no. Rebound, nobody boxed out. Taylor all alone and puts it in. Boy, he was wide open. There wasn't a body on him, and that's the easiest basket Jimmy Taylor's going to get all night long. And it makes it 71-64. Qualls drives to the rim. Qualls scoops and looked like a lot of contact. No call, no basket. On the other end, Wamu, and Wamu hits the layup. Now they're coming quickly the other way, Salt Lake City. And Jermaine Taylor finds AD in the lane. Swatted. Oh my, did Jimmy Taylor have a big time block on that one. He really knocked that one back and it goes out of bounds. It will be Salt Lake City ball. But that baby was just rejected. Which means we have a bunch of Christmas sweaters in the audience, and on the 29th we have Princess Night. So if you're thinking of coming out to catch the game on the 29th, put your little ones in their princess costumes and bring them on out to catch a Stars game. Speaking of catch, Taylor Braun not able to make the catch, and it goes out of bounds. It will be Skyforce basketball. So Salt Lake City trying to make some inroads, but right now they're their own worst enemy as they continue to turn the ball over. Pressure now into forecourt. The ball comes from Jalen Bradley, and he gives it up. So that's Alonzo G clearing some space with the off arm, getting away with it, and then the foul is going to be called on Taylor Braun. Now, it's interesting because G, who is the veteran, the last 8 years in the NBA, using that off arm to create some space, he got away with it, but Taylor Braun did not get away with it. So the foul and the free throws coming for Alonzo G. And in a moment, we're going to be joined by Stars president, Jonathan Reinhardt, who won't be happy that I called tonight Princess Night, but I did make the correction. That's the 29th, folks. So if you thought you missed it tonight, no. You still got a chance on the 29th for Princess Night, as the first free throw is good, and it is a 10-point margin at 74-64. So we welcome Jonathan to the program. And, Jonathan, I did get it corrected, okay? So tonight...
Yes, December 29th
yes.
is Princess Night.
Well, you know, I'm just thinking ahead.
We will be handing out wands and tiaras, and we'll have princesses here posing for photos, and should be a fun night for kids. You know, all the little girls at home who got their princess dress for Christmas
can wear it.
Come dressed up and, be amongst the princesses.
See, that makes a whole bunch more sense. Lane violation there, by the way, and an opportunity to shoot again. No, now we've got, it was a foul on the play. So it's 75-64. The free throw was good, and then a foul was called and an opportunity for Jimmy Taylor to shoot. And he's at the line. So some interesting things have happened tonight, Jonathan, actually, in this game, and I'm not quite sure about some of them, but nevertheless, we persevere. And, of course, this newest member of our team that was taken from Sioux Falls as the free throw is off the mark, but Eric McCree, who just signed, I guess today or yesterday,
yeah.
And he's in uniform tonight and showing why the Jazz wanted him.
Yeah, flew in yesterday, had a physical today, and is on a two-way contract with the Jazz now.
Floater by Jermaine Taylor is off the mark, but a loose ball foul on the rebound as bodies hit the floor. Well, it's interesting because this is an opportunity, really the first chance for local fans to see him, obviously. Qualls, who we haven't seen before on this floor, and also Jite as well, who didn't get any time. So really three brand new players to see tonight for Stars fans. And, of course, one of them at the line right now is CD Jite, who was the Jazz pick, the Stars draft pick, but he was still back in Senegal.
Yes, out of Clemson. Took a little time to get his visa and everything cleared, and happy he joined us. I believe he was with us the last home game, but not playing yet. He joined us that day.
That's right, he had. Well, he hits the two free throws on that play, and so he's making his presence felt so far tonight.
In fact, he was the Stars' top pick in the draft.
Yes, and you can see why. He's got some skills, a little bit raw, but that's what this league is all about, isn't it? I mean, you've just got to get the edges rounded off a little bit.
He was a big offensive rebounder at Clemson, among the ACC leaders and Clemson's all-time leaders.
And he's got the one thing you can't teach. He's got height.
You can't coach height.
Nope. Sioux Falls with the ball, 9 to shoot, and the little pull-up jump shot is good by Jalen Bradley. And, that's the things that those guards that local tryout guys are going to give you 15 minutes a game. You got to have that little mid-range jump shot, and that's exactly what Jalen Bradley is, and he's scoring in double digits tonight. Salt Lake with the ball, three-pointer is short, and a rebound comes down to who else? Jalen Bradley, 6'1" out of Oral Roberts, and a local tryout product. Three-pointer on their way by Wamu No, and chasing down the rebound, now whips it to Bradley, and then out to the elbow, back to Bradley, 6 to shoot. The drive and the basket by Alonzo G. So good ball movement on the part of the Skyforce.
Alonzo G, of course, an NBA veteran.
Yes.
Quite a bit of time in the league, bounced around.
Yeah, 8.
Wizards primarily, as far as I remember.
Yeah, he's had 8 seasons. Cleveland, San Antonio, Washington, New Orleans, Denver, and Portland. As the shot is blocked. Oh, my, they're going to call a goaltend on that. What an effort by Deontay Burton. As he goes high to block Bradley's shot.
Tough to tell from that angle.
Yeah, you couldn't really tell on the replay here, but there's a timeout. Salt Lake City.
And are always right in it at the end. Unfortunately, we challenge ourselves and make it a little tougher than need be sometimes.
Jermaine Taylor with a miss and nobody back, and the throwdown by Wamu on the other end. makes it 83-66. This is one of those lull periods right now, and you watch, the Stars team will come back from it. The question is, how much does it take out of you to do that? And I know Coach Martin Schiller just wants him to avoid that, as the left-handed shot by McCree is good, but he's always preaching in practice, don't dig yourself the hole, because it's a lot more difficult, and yet they just kind of take a walkabout for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and both teams may have tired legs, obviously.
True.
Sioux Falls played in Reno, but Stars just came off a long East Coast trip, just got home yesterday afternoon, and, you know, quick turnaround, quick adjustment, too, back to a time zone as well.
Well, and it's a young team. Both teams, you know, whenever you get young players, you're going to get those lulls. They don't concentrate for 48 minutes. There's a three-point shot from the corner against the Stars. Rodney Pryor again, and boy, he's had that one dialed in for much of this game. Jermaine Taylor yet to find his stroke tonight, and he misses another three. Pryor will get that ball and take it up floor. G, baseline, shot was blocked. Just holding a hand out and blocking it. And the offensive rebound is not corralled and brought down defensively by the Stars. And Naz at midcourt, and the ball goes out of bounds, so he loses the basketball. And again, another Stars turnover. It's awful tough when you turn the ball over. And Salt Lake, they may not turn the ball over that more frequently, Jonathan, but boy, they've got this bad habit of giving up points off those turnovers, a lot more than you might expect.
Yeah, good hustle there by Naz Long to chase after it, but Qualls unfortunately stepped on the line as he was trying to recover.
So Skyforce ball. Salt Lake City got to get a stop here in the last 7 seconds of this quarter. WAMU pulls up a long three, and he hits it, and it does leave Salt Lake City with time at 3.5. The ball comes in backcourt, and that's, well, McCree didn't have anywhere to go with it, so not a shot at the end of the quarter. 89-68 is the score of the last 12 minutes, and they need to make a comeback here.
Yeah, dug ourselves a bit of a hole, and hopefully we can dig ourselves out of it.
Yeah, I was going to say they're not. It's not a one-way dig. They've been used to going the other way as they go into the lane, and offensive foul is called on McCree. Wow, that's kind of a soft offensive foul. I don't know. There's a pretty good acting job done there, and apparently it was bought. Well, a little slow to get up, however, is Pryor. There was more contact than it initially appeared. And now, so free throws coming here, and Pryor misses the free throw. Not sure if we'll get a look at it again. That's the responsibility of our television arm, Twitch, which we don't have control over. But they saw something in that review as the second free throw is missed. Saw something in that review that triggered the upgrade to the flagrant one rather than simply a common foul. So it will be Skyforce ball, leading 89-68, and they will have possession. And then getting it in finally is WAMU. And now looking for a little bit of help, where to go. They get congested. Boy, spacing was horrible on that play for Sioux Falls. Holding the ball was Mitchell, and nobody came to help him out. What WAMU did, he brought the defender with him, and so you had four players in the space about 6 square feet. And with those size 15 pluses, there's not much foot room there. The ball was turned over to Salt Lake City. Qualls pulls up, mid-range jump shot is good. So Michael Qualls, a young man out of Arkansas who was signed with Oklahoma City way back in 2015 and played last season in Israel, scores the basket. On the other end, a foul is committed against Jimmy Taylor, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. So Qualls picks up his first personal foul, and slashing to the basket was Jimmy Taylor.
The Stars are going to make a run. They need to make that run soon here.
Yeah, they started that third quarter out well. I mean, that was the thing that made the dent in the halftime margin. They got within 4, and then Sioux Falls able to fight them back off again as that first free throw is made by Taylor. Taylor's got some length on him. He's deceptively agile too. He's got that long body, as he hits the free throw. Get a nice stroke.
Listed at 6'10", 250 out of Alabama.
Yeah. Whistle stops play. Go to the scorer's table, and it will be a clock issue because only 2 seconds has elapsed off the shot clock. And Stars have been playing fast, but that's pretty quick. 2 seconds from baseline to, well, it was only 3, so just a 1 second
clock reset
adjustment.
to 21 seconds there. So.
Yeah. Down the middle, Qualls fouled. Got Jimmy Taylor on his shoulder, was able to get past him. And it's going to be Pryor who came over to help out and committed the foul. So Qualls, an opportunity at the line again. Yeah, you're looking at Michael Qualls, Jonathan. He looks like he's a guy who ought to be in a gym in a pickup game. He's got that good body, and he's just, I don't know, he carries himself with the strength that you see in that body. But I can see him on the playground someplace and saying, okay, you know, you want to play my team, we got you, or we got next.
Definitely has a little bit of a swagger about
He does, and he makes it work, too, as he hit the free throw and hits the second, and he's got a motor. I mentioned it early in the game, the first chance to see him play in person. I mean, he really goes after the ball, and he hits both free throws. Little drop pass on the baseline, yeah. Nobody stepped in front of Pryor as he cut through the baseline, and a nice little drop pass by Mitchell, and now a whistle in forecourt. Salt Lake will sighting the ball on the far side. That's going to be Naz, and he'll look to trigger. Comes into Qualls. Yeah, Qualls has got that. He does have that swagger. Goes between his legs, shoots a three. This one didn't fall for him. And he's playing against the big fella. He's
trying to get down low there.
Yeah, he is. He's trying to hold him out of deny position to Jimmy Taylor. Look at him on that low block.
Doing a good job of it.
Doing a great job. And he got him. Got him
swipe underneath there.
But boy, you want to talk about denying position for you smaller players out there. Take a look at this when you get to look at this again, if we do, about how low he gets the center of gravity so he can't be knocked off the block there.
Yeah, he fought him the whole way.
And deny position. And when the big fella puts the ball on the floor to make the turn, that's when your chance comes.
Well, you got to swipe at that point. You know, if the big man brings the ball down, that's your chance.
So again, Jimmy Taylor. His free throw is good. Salt Lake City forced into gambling right now. And sometimes those gambles pay off. Right now it's 94-72.
See Torian Graham coming back to the scorer's table, ready to check in.
And Coach Martin Schiller trying to find somebody who creates some turnovers and make some shots. As Salt Lake City continues to struggle from the floor, shooting in the mid-30s. Free throw is good, and now ball goes out, and Sioux Falls has the possession. Naz comes out. Torian Graham goes in. Sioux Falls with the ball. That spin move on the baseline, and he stepped out of bounds. Tony Mitchell. See, that's the advantage of the guys when we wear size 9s is, you know, you got room to put your foot down on the baseline. Some of those guys don't. All the way to the basket. And a little scoop shot, and it is 295-74. Little hang shot on the other end, and no good. Salt Lake comes back with some pace. Want to push this. Braun in the corner. Qualls. Closeout on that three. Had a look at it at first. And then he lost the ball out of bounds on the baseline. Probably should have taken, in retrospect, that shot over Jimmy Taylor, who was a little late getting there, but by the time Qualls realized it, it was too late.
Saw that one-on-one isolation and was looking to make something happen, and the ball just slipped out of his hands.
Guamu now in forecourt. Guamu spaced the floor. Let his big man get low. Now he's going to ISO against Braun, and Guamu throws up a, I think it was a lob intended for the big fella, for Taylor, but it's a foul called. Body contact that left the lob
like perhaps
short.
he felt the body contact there and just kind of flipped it up, trying to make sure it was in the act of shooting.
And had a look on the other side, that weak side. Nobody really stepped in front of Taylor, but Guamu will have a chance. First free throw just curls in off the rim. He's been to the line 0 times before that tonight, so 1 of 1. And now he's 2 of 2. It's one of the Stars' problems tonight. Only got to the line 16 times. Now the opponents have gotten there 24 times. And a timeout has been taken by Coach Martin Schiller. Salt Lake. Back to action here in Salt Lake City with 9.5 minutes remaining and a 3-pointer on the way, short off the front of the iron by the Stars. 97-74, the visitors from Sioux Falls with the lead. WAMU's 3, way beyond the iron and the mark, and it's off the iron as rebound comes off to Salt Lake City. Quick 3 on the way, Graham, no. Offensive board by Salt Lake and the putback and 1. And it's going to be McCree. Clearing some space with that big body, got the offensive board and also got hit on the arm.
McCree with 20 points in his Stars debut tonight. Gives his former team, Sioux Falls.
And a chance for 21 here. Yeah, what a night for a guy who joined the team today. But he does know that he does have
He's
the advantage.
very familiar with
he
the
does
other
have
team,
the advantage of knowing what the other team will do, and that doesn't hurt, however. But he's not
one of just 3 Stars players in double figures tonight, though. 7 different guys in double figures.
Misses the free throw. Oh, and my, the putback would have been good, but Qualls grabbed the rim. Yeah, it's 97-76, but just not able to count that because Qualls interfered with it. But there is a foul, nevertheless.
Team foul number 4, McCree shooting 2.
And it was the 3rd foul on Jimmy Taylor, as that first free throw is good this time by McCree. And the second one curls in as well for him. So he's got 22 points on the night for his debut. Ball a little bit loosely handled by Sioux Falls, but they maintain possession in forecourt. And WAMU is going to hit one of those, he says, before the night's over. He's like 0 for 5 from that spot in this quarter alone. Ball nearly poked away in forecourt now. Braun has it. He shoots the 3, and he's got it. And he's got it, and look out. Salt Lake just may be coming back, and that's the feeling. To Salt Lake City, 97-81, the visitors from Sioux Falls. But Salt Lake has started to make a mini run here, and their coach, Nevada Smith, said, hey, let's slow things down and let's talk it over just a little bit. Joined by Stars team president, Jonathan Reinhardt. And Jonathan, who knows, this may be it again.
Yeah, it's now or never as far as that goes. You know, hopefully continue to push. That's not going to help, though. Right
no,
there.
3-pointer right out of the timeout by Tony Mitchell.
Difference in the night really has just been the turnovers. 20 turnovers committed by the Stars to just 12 by Sioux Falls. Other than that, the Stars right in the game, points in the paint, only a 4-point difference, and Stars have actually won the second chance battle and been even on fast breaks. So.
And whistle, a foul call down low. Yeah, the other thing is, the big thing off those 20 turnovers, I mean, you have an 8-turnover difference, but you've got a difference of 12 points. You're getting up 25 points. So 12 points difference in this game because of the turnovers. And, you know, 12 points would go a long way right now towards making this more competitive. At the line, number 33, Alonzo G. You got to go back to 2010 when this guy was G League Rookie of the Year.
Wow.
Hits the first free throw. Make the lead 20 again at 101-81. Largest deficit has been 23 by the Stars. Stars led by 8 at one juncture in this one. And then the Skyforce caught fire. Second free throw is also good. And so for G, he's had a decent night of it himself. He's now got 20 points. Salt Lake City. Qualls. 10 to shoot down the lane, throws it down, oh my. He challenged the big guy, Jimmy Taylor. And Qualls gave away about 4 inches in height and just threw it down right over the top of Jimmy Taylor. That's the aggression we talked about early. And on the other end, Jimmy Taylor says, hey, I can do that too. So he gets into the lane and nobody in front of him in the two-handed throwdown, and it's 104-83. Oh, McCree, boy, took a pretty good shot on the play. But it's going the other way. The missed layup and nobody there to follow it except for G. So Mitchell missed and G got the rebound and laid it in. Salt Lake Burton gives it up, gives it to Braun. Now it's outside with 10 seconds to shoot, and that's Qualls. On the baseline, step and shoot. And that was Graham, just stood there, took the quick shot. 2-point basket, 106-85. Taylor tried to throw it down with the left hand, a whistle at the rim though, and there's going to be a foul called. But I think the dunk over him by Qualls ignited him a little bit, and McCree came over just a half step late with the help.
Number 6.
And that is going to be foul number 6, and he has fouled out. So McCree in his debut exits with 6:43 remaining, but a pretty darn good night for his first night in a Salt Lake City Stars uniform against his team as of yesterday. It was his former team until this morning. It was his team until this morning, and it became his former team as he signed a 2-way contract with the Utah Jazz.
McCree finishes the night with 22 points in his debut, 8 for 16 from the floor. Did struggle a bit from the three-point line, but 9 rebounds, 22 points, and hopefully it's something to build on here with the Stars.
Jimmy Taylor a miss on the first free throw attempt. The second opportunity for him. Yeah, it's going to take local fans a while to get used to the new roster, although they're going to have 2 chances next week, games on the 25th and the 27th.
27 and 29.
How about 27 and 29?
Christmas Day.
You know what? I guess that would be the case, wouldn't it? Let's put it this way. I know the 29th is Princess Night.
Yes.
That I know. The
29th, we will be here 27th against the Memphis Hustle, the Grizzlies G League team, and then the 29th we'll be back in action again on Princess Night.
Fast break basket by Salt Lake City. That's right. If you're coming on the
OKC
25th,
Blue on the 29th.
You're by yourself if you come here on the 25th, all right? So the 27th, 29th, 2 nights to get a look at your Salt Lake City Stars. Be a great opportunity as you get the runner on the other end by Sioux Falls, but a great chance to bring the family for a fun Christmas holiday experience with professional basketball.
Yeah, you got family in town, you're looking for something to do. It's a great night out, it's affordable, it's great for the families, a lot of activities for the kids. We'll have the face painters and the bounce house and the balloon artist, and then, as we've mentioned, on the 29th will be Princess Night as well. So.
Torian Graham had the layup, and on the other end, the layup by Sioux Falls. That would be a G with the layup, or 110-89 is the score. Naz gives it up. Braun. Back out straightaway 3 by Naz, and it's off the rim. Rebounded by Sioux Falls. Yeah, 2 next week. That's a rarity. It has been so far.
Yeah, tonight's the first home game since the 11th, so it's been spaced out once every week or 2. And yeah, to have two in every other day is a little bit unusual to this point.
On the 27th and 29th, as a whistle stops play. On the other end,
please don't show up on the 25th.
No.
Enjoy your Christmas at home with your family.
Bradley is fouled. I might be the only one dumb enough to show here on the 25th, and so I would deserve to have the gym to myself. I'm coming on the 27th.
I don't think there's a chimney here in the building either.
That's probably true.
No other visitors coming the 25th either.
You don't think so? So at the line is Jalen Bradley. And Bradley's first free throw is up, and it's good. Bradley's had a nice game off the bench.
He's 16 points.
Yeah,
17 now with the free throw.
17 with the free throw.
7 for 9 from the floor, so very efficient as well.
Yeah, and his minutes, about 20 minutes or so, he hits the second free throw, makes it 112-89. Well, it's a good thing because they've had to play big minutes tonight for a lot of their players because of the 8-man rotation is all. As a 3 is good on the other end for Salt Lake. Torian Graham has come in and he's shown the ability to shoot the basketball tonight. And this is really what the Stars have needed, somebody to get a consistent hand.
Yeah, Skyforce had three players not with them tonight, and then another who's ill. So.
Yeah, one who turned traitor. One who signed with the Jazz. I think you might be hearing a lot about him for the remainder of this Stars season, certainly the 2-way player, as a whistle stops play again on the other end. And Torian Graham is tagged with a personal foul. Number 2 on him as G goes to the free throw line again.
Shooting 2.
2 more shots. And the first one in and out. Second free throw coming now. Yeah, you got some experience with Alonzo G. Again, he's just a recent add to this team as he hits the free throw. The 2 games he's played with him, he's had 15 and 19 points. So hasn't been with him very long, but I'm sure he'll be staying for a while. 3-pointer on the other end is off the mark by Graham, but the rebound comes down. Qualls, he can't put back the shot, and now you've got ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Sioux Falls basketball. A little bit of backcourt pressure now put on by the Stars, just trying to change the tempo a little bit, see if you can't create a turnover, but it's into forecourt. And an alley-oop pass that goes awry. It was put up there by Bradley, and on the other end, Salt Lake comes down. Naz goes to the basket. No, there's a follow-up count because coming in was Graham, and he tapped in the putback. Question is, was the foul call before he got there or not? Naz shot off the side of the iron, and no, so he will shoot free throws, will Naz, and the basket won't count. 2 free throws coming for Naz, who has also struggled from the field a little bit tonight. 4 of 14 at last count. That free throw is good, though. And he hasn't missed a free throw. And that one is good as well. So 113-94, and again, backcourt pressure. Burton was the man hounding the basketball, but it was the press was broken by Larry Drew, an inside and a spin move at the rim that results in a basket from Alonzo G. So they're just going right down on the low block, figuring they'll either get the free throws or the basket, one or the other.
G with 27 points now,
Qualls,
NBA veteran.
Yeah, he's been there. Qualls' shot is off the mark, and running the floor was G. He couldn't hit the layup, a little extended, but Larry Drew finished it up as nobody was close enough to get the rebound for Salt Lake.
Timeout for the Stars.
Yeah, Stars going to talk it over with 3:27. So Taylor Braun on the far side of the floor, you saw, and it comes in near to Naz. And Naz has to give it up. And a turnover is an offensive foul called on Burton.
Charge to number 15, Deontay Burton.
So Tay with the offensive foul going for the just going for the pass. So the possession will go back to the Skyforce, and there'll be again full court pressure exerted by Salt Lake. Drew has the ball, dogged by Qualls. Now he'll give it up to Wamu, who will give it up down low, and those spin move, nothing there for G, but he goes to the hole anyway, and that's the NBA veteran right there making something happen. Good defense, but better offense.
One of those kind of nights tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw up a prayer and it's answered. Now the ball out of bounds, and again it's going to be Sioux Falls ball, and it is, well, it's thrown into forecourt, almost thrown away, but Bradley tracks it down.
As Ryan the Gladiator says on Twitch, Alonzo G having a nice night. That's very true.
Yeah, he is, no question about it. Foul out on the perimeter.
Stars foul. Foul number 15,
See, that's what's going to be a lot of fun, and I don't have that feed yet, but when we get that, I'll get a chance to talk to, what was his name, Ryan the Gladiator?
Ryan the Gladiator.
Whoa, I tell you what, my man Ryan, I'll be talking to you before the season's over. It'll be a lot of fun. At the line is Bradley to shoot. Jermaine Taylor comes in, Burton checking out for Salt Lake City. JT with the dreads and the headband. And it helps because he's one of the easiest guys to spot on the floor.
Also the only returning player from last year, too, so
That's
you've seen
true.
him quite a bit.
That's true. Bradley's free throw is good. Yeah, I mean, it's a fluid league. You know, the rosters are fluid. As we've had the ultimate today with a former member of the Skyforce team this morning who is now playing against them tonight. That tells you all you need to know about the G League. The free throws are good by Bradley. But you know what? That's what makes the league a lot of fun. Qualls.
Everybody's here for an opportunity, and you know, for McCree, it was a great opportunity for him to get a two-way contract with an NBA team. So
absolutely, and he earned it by his play. Spin move in the lane. There's the old man. Jermaine Taylor goes to the left hand and scores. 121-98, approaching 2 minutes. Drew out front, got Naz on him. Number 3 on number 3, and number 3 commits the foul. That would be Naz. Mitru Long.
And this is fourth.
Well, sporting the bandage above the left eyebrow is Larry Drew, and I don't remember that earlier, so perhaps he incurred that in this ball game. Not for the faint of heart out there.
a little bit physical at times here tonight.
Yep, Larry Drew, the former UCLA player, did get a call-up back in 2014 with the 76ers. And still going at it. This is a guy, I mentioned it earlier, back in 2014 had 23 assists in a game.
Wow.
And the free throw is in and out, the second one. As I said, too, the good news is to get an assist, you got to have a made basket. So 23 made baskets that he was responsible for. Over the top, the lob to Qualls, the basket counts, and he's fouled. Well, they had the mismatch inside with Bradley at 6'1", and Qualls at a muscular 6'6". Went over the top. Qualls prevailed and has a chance for the three-point play.
That Drew 23-assist game came in a matchup with Rio Grande Valley, and we know they play that up-and-down, fast-paced style, so it gives you a lot more possessions and chance sometimes to add up to those statistical totals.
He misses the first free throw, so the basket did not count. And he 122-98 is our score, and now 99 as he hits that second free throw. Wamu into forecourt. And Wamu will yo-yo under 2 minutes to play in this game. They'll just take their time with it. 9 to shoot. Wamu, he's got a little ISO going with Braun. Loses the ball for his effort. Probably should have passed it. Going the other way, Naz. In the corner, Gray. 3 on the way. Yes, he got it. Graham, Torian Graham. And he hits that 3. So 122-102. Almost a little free and easy with the ball, but maintained by Sioux Falls. And it's still 14 on the shot clock. Pryor in the lane. Left-hander, no. And Jermaine Taylor has the rebound. Salt Lake looks to run. Graham again. And the 3 is good again.
Same spot, same shot.
Would have sure been nice to have Graham get a little hot earlier and be able to throw some of those down, or anybody for that matter, for Salt Lake City. But Graham has come off the bench in this second half, and he's gotten some points. Funny when you get rolling like that. Wamu's in the lane, driving. Has to give it up. Pryor, three-pointer, yes. And Pryor, boy, he's got a nice release. He's just one of those guys that can catch and shoot. And if you let him spot up, you really take your chance. Naz, crossover, Naz, contact with Wamu.
Blocking foul on the play.
Sioux Falls foul. Called on Ike Wamu.
Wamu gets called with it. And at the line will be Naz to shoot 2 more with 52.6 left on the clock.
Looks like Naz lowered his shoulder to drive in, but Wamu was moving a little bit too much.
So here's the chance at the line for Naz again. And that first free throw is, well, it hits the front of the rim, but it curls in. They don't ask how, just how many, and it's 1 there. And the second free throw coming for Naz, who's struggled mightily from the floor tonight. He hits the second free throw, though. He's been good at the line.
He has.
Ball into forecourt with Bradley. And Bradley goes to the basket, and he is challenged at the rim. And Braun is going to be called with the personal foul, but he stopped the easy layup. It's like if you want to try and take it early in the shot clock and go right to the rim in this 18-point game, there is a price for omission.
Certainly not swallowing the whistles in these last 2 minutes.
No. Yeah, the admission to the lane in an 18-point game with 48 seconds remains is usually a pretty solid thump. Free throw is good by Bradley. And the second one coming. So the local tryout has had a nice night for himself and has had to play the minutes because of the short staff.
Only 8 available players for them.
And he hits the second. This is a Skyforce team that has an overload of guards, as a lot of teams in this league do. There's the putback by Braun off the Taylor miss. But tonight, there's not been an overload of anything with the 8 players, as you point out, Jonathan.
Just want to mention again, the Stars will be home the 27th and the 29th.
I got it written down.
Next week. So hope everybody has a happy holidays. And hopefully we'll see you here at Bruin Arena next week.
I know you've got things to do, Jonathan, so we'll let you go with about 16 seconds left. That's the shot clock violation, as after that attempted layup down the lane by Bradley, they've apparently decided not to shoot now, and the ball turns over. So, Jonathan, same to you. We'll see you on the 27th.
Thanks, Steve. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to everyone at home, and hopefully we'll see you out here next week.
Sounds great. All right, 16 seconds left. Salt Lake City with the basketball. The margin of victory is what's in question now for the Skyforce, because Salt Lake's Jermaine Taylor dribbles, 6 seconds to shoot, and he dribbles the basketball out, and I think he's just going to leave it out there as the time expires off the clock, and that indeed